Now that we're getting you healthy, let's get you some money. That is, if your business needs it. Our guest is Mark Hanna. He comes to us from Georgia Tech and the Enterprise Innovation Institute. He is the director of a program called SETAAC, the Southeastern Trade Adjustment Assistance Center. Mark, did I say all of that right?
You did.
And what is it that you guys do?
We help U.S. manufacturing firms headquartered in the Southeast that have been hurt by import competition. Firms that have experienced declines in sales and employment during the most recent 2 years due to the effect of cheap imports for the product lines that they make.
What kind of businesses are eligible for this assistance?
Manufacturing firms, mostly, and to some extent, service firms. Service firms that do work similar to manufacturing firms.
Can you give us some examples yeah, go ahead.
For example, a service firm that is doing some anodizing or painting or finishing of somebody else's product. They're doing a service. They could potentially qualify into the program. Now, a service firm that's a CPA type thing, an accounting firm, is not going to be able to qualify in. We work with manufacturers.
How much federal assistance can a business who has suffered some loss in the last 2 years receive?
It can be up to $75,000 of government funds on a cost share basis, so that if the government's going to kick in $75,000 to help a company, the company's going to match that. We work on one or two projects a year, and companies are with the program for up to 5 years.
What sorts of things will these federal dollars pay for up to $75,000?
Any type of work that an outside consultant can do to help the company improve. Marketing type projects, website projects, installing an ERP system or computer system. We can't use the funds to buy assets or computer hardware or computer software. We can't do anything that pays company employees. So it has to be an outside consultant.
Grants range from as little as $30,000 to as much as $75,000 on this cost share basis that you just described. How do you differentiate between a large grant of $75,000 and a small grant of about $30,000?
The small one you're talking about is what we call the mini program. It's for, as you would expect, smaller companies, around $1 million or so in sales. It's $30,000, but that's at a 75% cost share. So the government's going to kick in $22,500. The company pays only 25%, so $7,500, and it caps out at that $30,000.
Can you walk us through a sample collaboration, a success story that you might have worked through recently?
A company comes into the program, they go through a petition process, which is fairly involved. They're giving us 2 years of all of their information, their financials, audited financials. They're going to give us some pages, the first 3 or 4 pages of their income tax returns for those same 2 years. We're looking to verify the declines in sales and the employment, and then we do some research as to the type products that the company makes through the harmonized tariff schedule to be able to show that imports have been increasing in the product line that they make. That information then goes to Washington, they evaluate it, they certify the company into the program, and at that point, SETAAC can go out to the company and we do a diagnostic analysis. We take a look at all of the operating areas of the company. We're doing 2 things. We're going to be building a report to tell Washington about the company they're going to be investing their money in, but also we're looking for things we can do to help the company improve in each of the operating areas where we're going to do those projects to spend the money that they qualify for. So we go to a company and we're going to come up with 6 projects, a website. They might need some training on some computer equipment or computer system. They might need some in the manufacturing area. They might need some help in process layout, process development, some training on some equipment kind of thing, recalibrating some equipment. Honestly, it can be just about anything that an outside consultant can do to help the company improve. There's only those 3 restrictions on the money. We can't buy equipment. We can't pay or buy computer equipment or software, and we can't pay for general education. If you've got 10 employees that need help with algebra, for example, that's generally available in a local community school, and we can't help with that. but we can help, and often do, help with all kinds of training that's specific to your business.
So the certification happens at no cost. About how long does it take for a firm that says, okay, this is something that we need to get back on our feet, and we go through the certification process? How long, is there a typical amount of time that it takes for a company to be approved?
Yes. That's probably the most difficult piece, is the time it takes to get a company into the program. It can take anywhere from, we usually say 90 to 120 days. That's 3 to 6 months to get into the program. But once they're in the program, to do a project, to get a project approved and the contracts written, et cetera, we can probably do that within a week's time. So that happens pretty quick.
Oh, so the turnaround and going in and after the assessment is done and saying, we can help you with this, and this. You need a new website. You need new marketing materials. We can help you with this. Once you lay out that plan, that's lightning fast.
It happens very quick, yes.
But then implementation must take a bit.
Well, it depends on what they're going to be doing and what the consultant's timetable is, that kind of thing. It's work being done by a consultant. The client company has full control at that point over which consultant he chooses. He can choose the cheapest or the most expensive. At that point, we are no longer, we're pretty much just contract managers at that point. We're not allowed to make the decisions for the company. We're not allowed, and we don't want the responsibility. And to be honest, a company owner is not going to want somebody from the government making decisions for his company.
So you facilitate the relationship.
Absolutely.
So these consultants who come in and help these companies, who are they, how are they found, and do you have enough?
Consultants, we have a database. In our database, we have consultants that we've used in the past. That's one, or that's a first choice. We try to look for consultants that are fairly local to that manufacturing company. Our small to medium-sized manufacturing clients typically aren't interested in flying somebody from California or Chicago down here. So we try to look for a local consultant to do the work. And the client company has full determination on which consultant he wants to use. We're not, as I mentioned before, we're not part of that decision.
So if it's not a fit, does the client have an opportunity to go in and say, okay, well, this isn't really working with consultant A, and they come back
Absolutely.
and say, can you hook us up with somebody else, connect us with another consultant?
Absolutely. And all we do is, if we've got an existing contract with that consultant and it's not working out, we'll just tell them, okay, we need to, stop this thing, send me your invoice for whatever work you've done so far. We terminate it and then move on. And we use monthly progress billing to be in control of the process. Is the client happy? Is the consultant happy? Is the relationship working out? So that you don't get to the end of a $50,000 project and find out, oh, we didn't do it. We're checking on that each month. Is everybody happy? And so we get to the end of a project and everybody's happy.
That's the goal. How long have these resources been available for you all to be able to facilitate the kind of relationships that you are between businesses in need, manufacturing companies that are in need in Metro Atlanta, in Georgia, with these federal dollars that are available?
The program has been around since the Trade Act of 1974.
So that's a minute, yes.
It's 40 whatever years, 42 years or whatever. We've been at Georgia Tech for almost all of that. Okay. The program is a best kept secret, no doubt.
Well, we're trying to blow that out of the water today.
Clients are always telling me, where have you been?
Right.
Because we're not allowed to advertise. We're not allowed, we can only, it's by word of mouth or cold call, referrals from other clients or consultants, that kind of thing. And that's all we're able to do.
So when we talk about the manufacturing industry, I was reading on the website and I saw one success story involved a company that made cabinets. Another success story involved a company that manufactured something else. But my sense is that if you are a small, medium, large-sized business that makes something, and as you said, have been hurt by imports over the last couple of years, these dollars and your resources and your data bank of consultants are available at essentially no cost to the business to help bring the business back. Have I summarized what we're talking about?
Well, pretty much. No, when you say no cost, I mean, there is the cost share of their
course.
Portion of that project. To get into the program is no cost to the company. there is a cost for the diagnostic report business, but the cap on that one is the most any company is going to pay is $3,000. The cost will be, for example, $12,000, but the government is paying 75% of that, $9,000.
Understand.
The company pays the remaining up to $3,000, and that's for a larger company. Smaller companies are down from that.
And by and large, at the end of the consulting process, at the end of the implementation stage of the recommendations that your consultants provide these manufacturers, really they are, quite honestly, turning around their business and going back from being in the red to moving into the black.
Absolutely. And that's the goal with this. And by the time they've been with us for 5 years, they like the program. They're friends. You know, you've been working with this guy for 5 years and helping his company. You become friends. So in general, all of our clients really like the program.
So if folks want information, if there's a listener who knows somebody or their business could use the resources of SETAAC, how do they find you? How do they find out if they meet the criteria for the assistance and get going?
There's probably the easiest is our website, SETAAC.org, but there's also our national website is taccenters.org, TAACENTERS.org. And that's probably the easiest
way. Well, we'll send some folks there. Mark Hanna, the director of SETAAC from over in the Georgia Tech Enterprise Innovation Institute. Appreciate your time. I'm hoping that there are some listeners out there who have businesses that could use your assistance and that you guys can help connect these consultants to these manufacturers and turn some more business around and help grow our economy a little bit more. Perspectives is a half hour we produce with you in mind. If there's something you think we ought to be talking about, let me hear from you. Tweet me. My handle is Condo29 on Twitter, or leave a message on our Facebook page. We do appreciate your listening and hope you'll be back next week at this same time as we examine another